dear students. So in this session we are going to see two chapters, quadratic equations and AP. So I have given you a complete thorough conceptual revision on both the chapters, followed by some questions, and two or three questions I would have solved, and I have given you a detailed questionnaire of how to study for the exam, so from the new edition textbook. So guys, if you are having any doubts on any of the previous chapters or in this chapter, you can book a class. I have given my WhatsApp number in the description box, so you can contact me, book for a class, and then we can see a lot of interesting questions ahead. So all the very best, guys. I hope this session will be really very useful to you. So let's go to the session right now. Thank you. Hello my dear students. So in this class we are going to see both the chapters, quadratic equations and also arithmetic progressions. So in the last class we saw what is linear equations, pair of linear equations all about. So the only difference, there are some couple of differences between linear equations and quadratic equations. A linear equation, for that linear equation the degree will always be 1. For quadratic equations the degree will be 2. That means if the degree is 1, there's one possible solution, and here you can have maximum 2 solutions. So that's the basic difference, and graph of a quadratic equation will always be a parabola, but for linear equation the graph will always be a straight line. So there are this much amount of differences between both of them. Now we are going to see all the concepts that are related to both these chapters, that is quadratic and also AP. So in quadratic equations, totally you have introduction, quadratic equations, solution of quadratic equations by factorization and nature of roots. And in AP you have the nth term of an AP, sum of the first n terms of an AP. Now let us go into the chapter. We will see the conceptual notes. So representation of a quadratic equation. We already learned how a linear equation is represented, that is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So a quadratic equation is represented by ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0, because if a is equal to 0, then this term will go away, so it becomes a linear equation. So for a quadratic equation, compulsorily a should not be 0, but b and c can be 0, but a should not be 0. So that is the only condition. So a is nothing but the coefficient of x square, b is coefficient of x, and c is the constant term. So this we learned it in polynomial system. So given a polynomial p of x, x is equal to a is called the 0 of its polynomial if p of a equal to 0. 0 means a solution. So now we have got some interesting methods solving quadratic equation. That is factorization method, splitting the middle term. We already learned it in polynomials chapter how to do it. We are going to learn the same thing now. So factorization method and formula method. There is one more method, completing the squares, which got deleted. So I'll be teaching you guys later how about solving that method in using completing the squares. So as far as things stand, completing the squares right now is deleted for you. So we are going to learn only two methods, factorization and also by formula, on how to solve a quadratic equation. So factorization method, I have written the rules, the same rules I have written in polynomials chapter also. So coefficient of x should be split into two parts such that the sum is always coefficient of x and product is always coefficient of x multiplied by the constant term. S means sum, P means product. So here if you take this equation, the coefficient of x is b. It should be split in two parts such that the sum is always b and the product is always coefficient of x square multiplied by the constant term. So product should be AC. So this is how you have to solve it. We already saw one example related to factorization in polynomials, so you can refer to polynomials chapter for typically understand this model. So next we are going to see how the formula method works. So there is this given formula, x is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac whole divided by 2e. In fact, from this formula only the solutions alpha and beta are derived. Actually, alpha is nothing but the positive root, so it is minus b plus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a, and beta is nothing but minus b minus root of b square minus 4ac whole divided by 2a. Why I am telling you this additional information is, once you know how to derive the relationship between zeros and coefficients. In that topic we learned alpha plus beta equal to minus b by a, alpha beta equal to c by a. So now if you do that manipulation, you will be getting the same value. Alpha plus beta is minus b by a. From this formula only it is derived. So that is why I am telling you this information now. Alpha plus beta is minus b by a and alpha beta equal to c by a. Okay, now we go to nature of roots, the last topic in this lesson. So for that, see here you will have to take this b square minus 4ac. So this is nothing but the discriminant of a quadratic equation. Why this is taken specifically? Because in the square, it is in the square root. It is in the square root. So a square root of a number cannot be negative. So that is the main reason why they have chosen b square minus 4ac as the discriminant. So if b square minus 4ac, based on this value, discriminant's value, you can predict the nature of the roots, how the roots will actually be. So suppose for example, if d is greater than 0, you have two real and distinct roots. Distinct means different. And if d is equal to 0, you have two real and equal roots. And if d is less than 0, then you have imaginary roots. The roots doesn't exist actually. So this is how root has to be predicted, whether the solution exists to a quadratic equation or not. Using this method it can be predicted easily. Now let us go to the conceptual notes of AP. So every fixed number within bracket d is called common difference of an AP, is added to each number. For example 1, 5, 9, 13 etc. It is an AP because 4 is added to each term. So that fixed number here is 4. So 4 is added to each term. So symbols used in an AP. A is the first term and D is nothing but the common difference. Common difference is second term minus first term. That should be equal to third term minus second term. That should be equal to fourth term minus third term, and so on. So that if the common difference is equal, if for all the cases, then you can say for sure that it is an AP. And n represents the number of terms. An is the general term of an AP, sometimes the last term also. So now and then you have Sn, which is the sum of n terms of an AP. So these are the symbols used. So now A, D, N, An, L and Sn. So these are the symbols used in an AP. Now we will find how the general term of an AP is derived. And AP is represented like this. A1, that is A plus 0D. So see carefully here. If it is 1 here, then it is 0 here. If it is 2 here, then it is 1. The coefficient of D is 1. If it is 3, then the coefficient of D is 2. If it is 4, then the coefficient of D is 3. And if it is n, the coefficient of D should be n minus 1. Rest all of them are same. A is there commonly. So an, so A1 is A, A2 is A plus D, A3 is A plus 2D, A4 is A plus 3D, and therefore an, the general term of an AP, which is A plus n minus 1 into D. So from this only it is being derived. So suppose so this is how you will have to arrive at the general term of an AP. Now we will look at sum of n terms of an AP. Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. But it can also be written as, this 2a can now be written as a plus a. Why I am writing this as, why I am writing like this is a plus n minus 1 into d, because now a plus a n minus 1 into d now becomes an. An can also be called L. So Sn equal to n by 2 into a plus L. So this from this formula, this can be derived very easily. So Sn equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. If the last term is not given, then you have to use this formula. If the last term is given, then you can use this formula. So now the last concept of this AP is to find the general term when the sum of n terms is given. So this is a new concept. To find the general term when sum of n terms is given, you have to use this formula, guys. An equal to Sn minus 1. I have given you an example for this. Only for this model I have given you an example. An equal to Sn minus 1. So Sn equal to 4n minus n square. Now we have to find An. So we are using this formula. So Sn you write as it is, minus Sn minus 1. Wherever n is there, you have to replace n by n minus 1. So you will get 4 into n minus 1 minus n minus 1 whole square. After this is manipulation only. You are multiplying it inside 4n minus 4 minus you are expanding by using a minus b whole square. So that will give you n square minus 2n plus 1. On removing the bracket and simplifying, you will get 4n minus n square minus 4n minus 4 minus n square plus 2n minus 1. Now if you remove all the brackets here, so you will get 4n minus n square minus 4n plus 4 plus n square minus 2n plus 1. Now 4n and 4n will get cancelled, minus n square plus n square will get cancelled, so you will get the answer as 5 minus 2n. So if sum of n terms is given, then you can find the nth term, that is a general term of an AP, using this formula, Sn minus Sn minus 1. Now they may be asking you to find the AP also. So if they are asking you to find the AP, you just have to substitute n as 1, 2, 3 and so on. So if you substitute n as 1, you will be getting 3. 3 is the first term of an AP. If you substitute n as 2, you will be getting 1. That is the second term of an AP. If you substitute n as 3, so you'll be getting minus 1. So the AP becomes 3, 1, minus 1, etc., etc., and so on. So this is the answer. This is how you have to find out the general term when sum of n terms is given. Okay, now additional problem solving techniques, quadratic equations. So this is an important model in speed, based on the speed, new time, old time, and all. So there is one example also. So this formula, I have, I have invented this method in a very unique way, so that you guys can easily do all the calculations in a very quick rate. So speed is equal to distance by time, time is distance by speed. This is a very well known formula to you, all of you, because you might have studied this in physics. So now this is the technique that I am telling. New time equal to old time plus or minus given time. So plus to be used when more is given, minus to be used when less is given. So now let us look at the question to understand this concept better. So a train travels at a distance of 480 kilometers at a uniform speed. If the speed had been 8 kilometers per hour less, it would have taken 3 hours more to cover the same time. To cover the same distance. Find the speed of the train. So for this, first you write the formula. Speed is distance by time. So time is distance by speed. So now you keep the speed as x, because you don't know what is the speed. You don't know what is the speed, so keep the speed as x. So now use this formula, old time, because the distance is constant. So distance is 480 divided by old time is when the time is initially present. So that is 480 divided by x, and new time is 480 divided by x minus 8, because the speed is reduced to 8 kilometers per hour. So 480 divided by x minus 8, because this is x is the speed. Now it is being reduced by 8, so new time should be 480 divided by x minus 8. Now see this data carefully. They have given it would have taken 3 hours more. So I have used this formula here. New time is old time plus or minus time given, plus to be used when more is given. So here more is given. So you just have to use plus for calculation. New time is old time plus time, because 3 hours more is given. So just substitute these values. So because you may get the answer very quickly. 480 divided by x minus 8 equal to 480 divided by x plus 3. I hope that this technique benefits you a lot. So now you take 480 by x to that side. So 480 by x minus 8 minus 480 by x is equal to 3. Take 480 as common. So 1 by x minus 8 minus 1 by x is 3. So 480 to take LCM, x minus of x minus 8. See, whenever minus is there, you have to put a bracket. If plus is there, you need not put a bracket. If minus is there, surely you should put a bracket. So x minus of x minus 8 by x square minus 8x. So this is the LCM. So now x and x on removal of bracket will get cancelled. So you will get 480 into 8 by x square minus 8x equal to 3. Now 480 and 3 will be cancelling each other as by 160 times. So because 3 into 160 is 480. So now if you cross multiply, you will get x square minus 8x is 160 into 8, which is 1280. I am bringing this to that side to represent it in a proper quadratic equation, so that I can find the solution easily by formula. So x square minus 8x minus 1280 equal to 0. See here, if they have asked you to solve any quadratic equation without mentioning anything, usage of formula method is much better. Because for splitting the middle term, you just have to think more. For formula, it's very easier. So x square minus 8x minus 1280 equal to 0. So from this you can easily solve. A is 1, B is minus 8 and C is minus 1280. So you apply the quadratic formula, which is minus B plus or minus root of B square minus 4AC by 2A. So you apply the relevant values, you get this answer 40 kilometers per hour. You may be getting another answer as well, but speed cannot be negative. So that's why I haven't written the another value of speed, because anyway the answer is not going to come. But in your exam you should specifically mention the other value is 8 minus 72, which is minus 64 by 2, which is minus 32. So therefore speed cannot be negative. So therefore speed is 40 kilometers per hour. So like that you have to mention. So I hope that all of you are able to understand this both the chapters. Now I have given you some important questions as well in both the chapters. All these questions are taken from the new edition of the textbook, so you can go through the new edition. With this, guys, this session comes to an end. I hope that all of you are able to understand, and if you guys have any doubt, I have given my WhatsApp number in the description box so that you can contact me and book for class if you need. So all the very best, guys. Thank you.